Hello, my name is Andrew Jones, VP of Engineering for ELAC Americas, and I'm here at Audio Advisor to tell you about all the new product I've been designing, starting with the Carina. ELAC have been working with jet tweeters, folded ribbon tweeters, for a very long time, since the mid-80s. And it's become their specialty and identifies to a lot of people who ELAC are. But for myself, I've always been a dome tweeter guy, so it was always going to be interesting. People would ask me when I'm going to start working with the jet tweeter. It's very interesting because the characteristics of a folded ribbon tweeter are quite different in a lot of respects to a regular dome tweeter. And most noticeably at the top end. They have an elevated response above 10K, combined with much wider directivity than a typical dome tweeter. So what you hear in a room is a combination of that elevated response and the wider directivity. So that's the first thing I had to learn to work with and decide what sound character I wanted to achieve with this speaker. Another factor is how low down they go. They don't go typically as low as a dome tweeter. So I have to incorporate its roll-off characteristics along with the crossover to give me the electroacoustic response that I want. And it's been an interesting journey to optimize around that. And it's not saying one is good or the other's bad, but it's saying with different characteristics, they have different sounds and different sounds in the room. And I have to work with that to get what I feel I want to achieve out of the speaker. With a folded ribbon tweeter, the directional characteristics being much wider at the high end than a typical dome tweeter, especially a dome tweeter that might be put into a waveguide, gives a different opportunity to tune with the speaker. Very often with a dome tweeter, I can change the tonal characteristics, almost like having a tone control, by changing how I angle the speakers inwards or facing straight down the room. As I toe them more towards the listener, you get more of the top end response being flat. As I toe them away, it tilts it down a little, so softens the treble. Now with the AMT, that doesn't happen. So you get consistent tonality no matter how you direct the speakers over a reasonable range. So that allows me to change the imaging characteristics without a corresponding change in tonality. So for example, if I face them straight down the room and place them apart, I get a big image, but not so particularly focused, but like a huge soundstage. As I toe them inwards, I restrict somewhat the image, but I make it more focused and specific. And I can do that without, as I say, that tonal shift. The other aspect is I need to make sure that the bass driver can go up high enough in frequency to meet the bottom end working range of the AMT. And that required me to design a new aluminum bass driver. It's an inverted dome shape, but it's softened curvature at the edges that help me control the characteristics, the resonant characteristics of the cone, and guarantee that I can take it up high enough and smooth enough to match up with the tweeter. So it's a custom designed and constructed bass driver. It's also built on a cast aluminum frame, so I get good stiffness, and allows me to add the bright trim feature that just elevate the look of the speaker. The network is quite a complex network, some pretty big inductors, almost all air-cored inductors, film caps, wherever I can use them, and a complex roll-off characteristic, so it can control the characteristics of the driver and give me the overall responses that I want. The other feature you can see is where is the vent. Now, in a lot of the speakers I've done, especially the original debut speakers and the Unify speakers, the vent was on the back. And questions we get asked often are, well, how close can you put it to the wall when you do that? So on the revision of the debut Mark II, I put it on the front. There's good and bad features of whether you have it on the front and the back. In this case, we split the difference and we actually have it facing downwards. The bottom of the cabinet is actually angled upwards, as you can see here. The vent is here, and then it comes with this cast aluminum base plate. So the sound squeezes out, But with the vent being downwards, you don't get the direct noises from the vent coming towards you. We've also, the price point of the speaker allows us to do a nice finish on it. It's a very well constructed and braced cabinet and finished in a satin black or satin white cabinet. So it looks very elegant. So as my first attempt at doing a folded ribbon tweeter, I guess I think I've done pretty well. There's a lot of positive comments coming out about the speaker, so I hope you like it too. Thank you.